2, place 33. And let's have a few words then with the Swedish team manager, Venus Thrum, for Mariestad to see if they can still pull it out.
Vad håller du på med, Veine?
Kolla läget.
Fixar ni det här?
Det gör vi helt klart.
Det menar du?
Jajamän.
På de sista 4 heaten?
Det ska vi göra.
Det måste ni, va?
Ja, det är inget snack om det.
Men det är en svår bana, så vad är problemet?
Ja, i och för sig, man får inte skylla, man åker Elitserien, man får inte skylla på att man växlar bort sig. Däremot så har vi väl haft lite otur. Vi har haft 2 stopp. Här Kelvin rasade sin motor och den gick alltså inte i första hitet och rasade i andra, va? Det är några poäng som saknas här.
Ja. Det är så pass tajt så det kan räcka.
Ja, det kan det göra. Men okej, vi ska väl avgöra här i reservhiter förmodligen här. Och sen ska det räcka hela vägen, får vi hoppas.
So there we are, Venus Thrum with his thoughts on the meeting so far and his feelings on the track. And he says that the reserves race, the next one on the agenda here, will have a big say on the outcome of tonight's meeting. Well, we'll see if Venus Thrum is going to be right as we look for heat number 12 here in Västervik. And it is Stefan Alkberg in red, Michael Peterson in blue, and of course Rick Miller in white, and Thomas Olsen in yellow and black. And Rick Miller looks down at his machine, but he comes through sweetly to take second place. A great second bend manoeuvre by Rick Miller to come through to join his partner. So Rick Miller now through to second place with Thomas Olsen, who's there as well for Mariestad, and this is good news for them. And Venus Thrum is going to be a right man, I think. He chose the right words with his interview with Tommy Randers to say that heat number 12 is going to have a great bearing on the outcome of this meeting. So it is still the Mariestad pairing of Thomas Olsen and Rick Miller. Rick Miller, of course, who fell last time out, and one we thought would cost Mariestad dearly, but they're now beginning to put a little bit of daylight again between them. And our Mariestad now finally going to kill off Västervik. We'll have to wait and see. They fought magnificently. Västervik in this meeting can sit in there without 2 of their top riders, but it is a 5-1 to the away side from Rick Miller and from Thomas Olsen, and that puts them in the driving seat here in Västervik with 3 heats still to go. 33 plays 38 in Mariestad's favour, and join us after the break for the conclusion of this Swedish Elite League action. So welcome back to the electrifying atmosphere here of Västervik in Sweden for the climax of this fabulous Swedish Elite League match between Västervik and of course Mariestad. At this moment in time, Mariestad doing very nicely indeed, but Västervik trying desperately hard to get back into this meeting. Bearing in mind they're short of riders, then they're doing exceptionally well this evening. Next on the agenda is heat number 13, which features the riders which finished 5th and 6th in their team in point scoring at the end of heat number 10. The riders that finished 3rd and 4th will feature in heat number 14, and the top 2 from each side will feature in heat number 15. It's a bit complicated, but we'll show you all about it throughout the course of the next few weeks here on Screen Sport. But here we have Stefan Ekborg in red, Patrick Olsson in blue, Michael Carlson in white, and Rick Miller in the yellow and black for Mariestad. So 33 plays 38. This is heat number 13. Away they drive then from the start, and into that turn they go, and it's Michael Carlson who's there, but just like a Rick Miller coming around the outside of the pack to join him. Carlson looks over his shoulder to see that Miller is there with him, and when you think this young Carlson boy's not very old, that was a great manoeuvre on that first turn to wait for his partner. Now Miller's there with him, and all of a sudden Mariestad are beginning to assert their authority on this meeting. So Michael Carlson on the inside, Rick Miller on the outside in that order. And a 5-1, surely, if they can stay out of any trouble or any falls. Rick Miller's already had one of those, and he certainly won't want many more of those. So, Michael Carlson on the inside. The Sonic Communications American Star on the outside. And they're doing the biz for Mariestad's cause here, who have been under tremendous pressure early on in this meeting by a very, very spirited Västervik side. Patrick Olsen back in 3rd place, but coming round to more importantly get the 5-1 for Mariestad. It's Rick Miller that gets a win. Michael Carlson in 2nd place, and way back in 3rd was Patrick Olsen. So a 5-1 heat advantage to Mariestad. They increase their lead now. It's 34 points to Västervik, and 43 to Mariestad. And here comes Nicholas Carlson out onto the track to give Rick Miller a pat on the back. Congratulations, Rick Miller, and to Mariestad, who now increase their lead. Can Vestovic come back? Heat 14's next. So the pace getting fast and furious as we wait for the four riders to come out for Heat 14. Jörgen Johansson in red, Jörgen Holmgren blue, Calvin Tatum white, and Nicholas Klingborg in yellow and black. So, can Mariestad come back into it at the moment in time? It's looking a last cause. They've already really dropped out of it, but they've got to hope for some engine failures and some problems. They're more than 8 points down, which they can't win, but they really would try and get back into it if they can. And on the inside is Jörgen Johansson, who spears from the tapes. Calvin Tatum tucked in behind him, going to be assured of no mistakes. That's what really Mariestad have got to do. They've already clinched this match if they can just stay out of trouble. Riders to finish. Rider that finishes in minor places was all they need. And Jörgen Johansson is looking pretty good, and I must admit, he's one that's caught the eye here, along with Joachim Karlsson. Two riders from Vestovic, and it has to be said, not only on this occasion, but all season, if they'd have had a full-strength side with Craig Boyce, who's been out of action for them since, of course, that bad injury sustained in the Commonwealth final on June the 2nd at Kings Lynn, while riding the individual world championship. And of course, more recently, Todd Wiltshire out of action as well. We're on the final lap of heat number 14. So it is Jörgen Johansson looking set for 3 more points for Vestovic. Tatum looking down at his machine, but he's holding on to second place, which is very important for them. But it is Jörgen Johansson who comes out to take the win. Jörgen Johansson wins. Calvin Tatum second place. And in third place was the rider in the blue, Jörgen Holmgren. So a 48 advantage to the home side Vestovic. That just about means 38 to them and 45 to Mariestad. So it means Mariestad have already got the victory assured to them. But it was a good win for a rider who certainly has caught the eye, Jörgen Johansson in red in heat number 14. So 38 plays 45, and we now move on to heat number 15, which, as I already told you, features the riders who finished top 1 and 2 in the both sides, Vestovic and Mariestad. It's a complicated formula, but it certainly works very well. It means, of course, the top riders compete in the final housing. So for Vestovic is Joachim Karlsson and Michael Olsen. Joachim Karlsson in red and Michael Olsen in blue. For Mariestad, Nicholas Karlsson is in white and Peter Karlsson in yellow and black. 38 plays 45, and this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is heat 50. Into the tapes they come, tension mounts. Starting marching they calls in. Let's just look at this rider here, Joachim Karlsson. Is the tapes rise, and away they go from the start. And it is the yellow-black Peter Karlsson who's there. Peter Karlsson takes the lead. The two Vestovic riders push out Nicholas Karlsson very, very wide indeed. So Joachim Karlsson and his partner are holding full position. Michael Olsen are holding the minor places. Can Nicholas Karlsson come between them for Mariestad? And just look at Nicholas Karlsson come underneath Joachim Karlsson to get second place. It's all action, all swings and all change here. Nicholas Karlsson come through to third place. So Peter Karlsson leads, Joachim Karlsson second, Nicholas Karlsson third, and of course will be another Karlsson in fourth place, mightn't it? A commentator's nightmare is the Karlssons here in heat 15, but there's no doubt about the one who's going to win. It's the former Swedish champion, Peter Karlsson, who gets the 3 points. He wins! Second place is Joachim Karlsson in second place. Third place, Nicholas Karlsson. And fourth place was Michael Olsen. So there we are, the final score after heat 15 of this Swedish Elite League match. The first to be seen here on Screen Sport. Vestovic ends up on 40 points. Mariestad on 49. And Peter Karlsson and Nicholas Karlsson going round for a round of applause from this very patriotic crowd here at Vestovic. So Vestovic end up on 40, and they're the two riders that really have shone tonight. Jörgen Johansson and Joachim Karlsson. Johansson on 11, Karlsson 10, Hultgren 4, Michael Olsen 9, Patrick Olsen 1, Ekborg 5, and Peterson ends up on 0. So it was Jörgen Johansson and Joachim Karlsson who really did the point scoring, and Michael Olsen also weighing in with some useful points. Total for Vestovic, 40 points. Let's then take a look at the victorious team tonight. That is Mariestad, and they're 1 to 8. Calvin Tatum ends up on 7, Michael Carlson 5, Nicholas Carlson on 8, Lillebo Johansson 1, Peter Carlson on 10, Nicholas Klingberg 3, Rick Miller 7, and Thomas Olsen 8. So just as Venus Strom, the team manager of Mariestad, was saying, the reserves will play a vital part, and they have indeed 15 points from Miller and Olsen from their 2 reserves. Their total 49. So congratulations to them, and we take a look then at the results from round 11. Västervik 40, Mariestad 49. Kumla are held to a draw by Stockholm. Kumla 45, Stockholm United 45. Gotland 66, Eskilstuna 24, Vetlanda 53, Halstavik 37. Then that means on the league table, which stands as follows, and just look at those top 4 teams. Kumla on 15, Mariestad 15, Gotland 14 and Stockholm 13. They'll feature strongly in the remainder of our series. Vetlanda on 10, Västervik 9, Halstavik 7 and Eskilstuna holding up the pack on 5 points. So there we are. Join us next week when, of course, it's the big one. Mariestad versus Kumla, and that will be a real cracker. So all remains for me to say is on behalf of Tommy Randers and Transmission and TV Media, this is Clive Fisher as always saying good night and God bless from Västervik.
Och slutligen